So this is my creative critical reflection for ACE Media Studies. So the first question, how does the product user challenge conventions? So our film belongs to the science fiction genre. So we use like traditional science fiction conventions to try and make our film fit into the science fiction genre. In order to achieve this, we took a lot of inspiration from well-known science fiction films. So, for example, the image on the left is from Doctor Who, which is a pretty well-known science fiction series, and then the image on the right is from our film. I feel like this sort of shows the inspiration that we took from other series. So we did that to make our film seem more like a science fiction. Also, this is comparing our film to the Empire Strikes Back Star Wars. The interior of buildings and other facilities in science fiction films tend to have a certain look to them, and I feel like we sort of tried to capture that with our film, alluding to again more famous science fiction films. Um, but we also challenge the convention in some ways. So in particular, um, the film has a prison cell. That's where the main character resides because he's a prisoner of this planet. And it's sort of the prison cell. It conveys a mood of gloominess, which that gloomy mood isn't exactly typical for science fiction films. So this sort of challenges the convention. So as you can see, there's a sort of like the lighting that we used and the way in which the shots were taken. It deviates from the typical nature of science fiction films because usually you see it's a lot of bright lights, chrome walls, that sort of thing, and I feel like we sort of deviated from that with our creative decisions here. And then next question. So how does the product engage with audiences and how would it be distributed? So our product engages with audiences by reminding them of the traditional science fiction movies that they love. So we essentially we're taking advantage of the special place that science fiction has in the film industry with the fame of some of the best science fiction films. In terms of distribution, if this was like a full length feature film that was being produced by a like professional, well funded production company, we would have used like some typical methods like having it showing in the movies a few times and then later getting released to streaming services like most movies do nowadays. However, because of course that's not the case if my group was actually like producing a full feature length film, we would be trying to get it recognized using more feasible methods like getting it submitted to a film fest and showing there, or sharing it through social media in various ways. So next question: how did my production skills develop throughout this project? Most of my skills developed in the pre-production phase. So that includes stuff like storyboarding. Like so even though it's a relatively short entry, there's still of course a lot of work that goes into creating a storyboard here. I also there was the creating the production company logo. That was something that I had worked on. I didn't realize the significance that a production company logo held until I learned that from the class. So that was a way in which I developed a skill. Also, a little bit of script writing. like just writing the script. Although I'd had some experience with that, but I grew a bit with that. But I feel like mainly where I grew was in set designing. So here you see essentially what my group did is we took the room on the right and we turned it into the set that was used in the room on the left. We turned into the set that was used in the film on the right. So it certainly was a project. It was a lot of work. We got a little creative with some parts of it, but overall I feel like that is where I learned a lot, just turning like creating the set and all that. So we also incorporated technologies into the project, of course. So in production, this is sort of supposed to show an example of it. We got pretty creative with the lighting. I feel like that was a strong point of our film. We used pretty good lighting to convey sort of a dramatic, gloomy tone that I mentioned earlier. We also we got some decent camera shots. We utilized that in our film. Also, the film uses voiceover, and in fact, all of the sound that plays in the film is it's non-diegetic sound. Like none of the sound really takes place where you're seeing it. So it sort of conveys like the telling a story, I guess, that the film is. But yeah, that was a bit of technology we use. We use voiceover, and then we used a lot of technology in post production, like After Effects, special effects, like sound, like I mentioned, and a lot of CGI. We really did a lot of work in post production. So all of these shots are from our movie, and they were all done using CGI special effects, all that. So that I feel like that really shows that we did incorporate a great bit of technology into our film. And yeah, so that is my creative critical reflection for ACE Media Studies.